So, good afternoon for everyone. Let's talk about Turkey. Turkey is a bridge between Europe and Asia. Our topic is for today Turkey's geopolitical position, Ottoman foreign policy, and the early Republican era. Today I will talk about three main historical periods to explain how Turkey's foreign policy developed. I've divided it for three parts. First one is Turkey's important geopolitical position, Ottoman diplomacy, and the balance of power tradition. Third one, the Treaty of Lausanne and Ataturk's foreign policy in the early republic. So each part builds on the previous, and one shows how geography and history shaped modern Turkey. So let's start. The strategy heart of Eurasia. Turkey uniquely straddles two continents, Europe and Asia. Also Turkey is located in one of the most strategically important regions of the world. It, its most defining feature is its control over the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits. These narrow waterways are the only maritime gateways connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, acting as critical checkpoints in global maritime traffic. Their strategic importance cannot be overstated, as they are vital for international trade, energy transit, and military strategy for numerous nations, especially those bordering the Black Sea. The Turkish trade geography and significance. This iconic strait is approximately 30 kilometers long and at its narrowest point only 700 meters wide. It dramatically divides the city of Istanbul, acting as a geographical and symbolic boundary between Europe and Asia. Its busy waters are a constant spectacle of ships, ferries, and fishing boats, said Dardanelles. Further to the southwest, the Dardanelles stretches for about 68 kilometers. This historically significant strait connects the Sea of Marmara to the Aegean Sea and thus to the wider Mediterranean. Together, these two natural waterways and the Sea of Marmara form the Turkish Straits. These are sovereign Turkish waters with their international navigation regime governed by the 1936 Montreux Convention. This agreement grants Turkey significant control over vessels draining these vital passages. Given this sensitive geography, the Ottoman Empire developed a sophisticated diplomatic tradition. For more than 6 centuries, Ottoman diplomacy balanced multiple interests across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. During its expansion phase, Ottoman foreign policy was based primarily on military power and alliance building. However, by the 18th and 19th century, when the empire began facing increasing pressure from European powers, diplomacy became crucial for maintaining sovereignty. A key strategy was the balance of power policy, known in Turkish historiography as denge politikası. The idea was to preserve the empire's territorial integrity by playing rival powers against each other, particularly Britain, Russia, France, and later Germany. Let's talk about the Treaty of Lausanne and the construction of Turkey's modern borders. After World War One, the Ottoman Empire was defeated, and the Treaty of Sevres attempted to divide much of its territory. However, Turkish national forces led by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk rejected this treaty and fought the War of Independence from 1999 to 1922. So, international recognition of the Republic of Turkey as a fully independent nation. This is like once the war ended and successfully for the Turkish national movement, and it led to the signing of the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923. This treaty is extremely important because it led to international recognition of the Republic of Turkey as fully independent nation, how I already said, establishment of borders that largely correspond to today's national frontiers, with agreements concerning eastern Anatolia and the Straits, abolition of the capitulation which had previously granted foreign powers legal and economic privileges within the Ottoman Empire. Also, it created a new system for managing the Turkish trades. Lausanne gave Turkey international legitimacy and allowed it to begin building a modern nation state. It replaced the unfair and punitive system of the Sevres Treaty with a more realistic recognition of Turkey's political and military situation. Let's talk about the foreign policy principles during the Ataturk era and relations with neighbors. So, how we already know, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, he was the founder of modern Turkey, established a foreign policy based on peace, realism, and national sovereignty. After the establishment of the republic in 1923, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk and his colleagues developed a foreign policy that responded to both historical legacies and the realities of the new international system. Also, his famous motto was "Peace at home, peace in world." It was like summarizing his approach. Ataturk also believes that domestic progress and international peace were closely connected. For him, Turkey needed stability to modernize, and peace abroad helped make the stability possible. So here the case of the sovereignty. Several core principles define Ataturk's foreign policy. Respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, both Turkey's and those of other states. Non-intervention and peaceful resolution of dispute, prioritizing diplomacy, treaties, and multilateral cooperation. Regional cooperation, building friendly relations with neighboring states to reduce the risk of conflict. Western-oriented modernization, adopting legal, educational, and political reforms that align Turkey with contemporary international standards. In practice, this principle led to a series of successful diplomatic initiatives during the 1920s and 1930s. First was the Balkan Pact in 1934, a regional alliance between Turkey, Greece, Romania, and Yugoslavia, aimed at preserving stability in Southeast Europe. The Sabah Pact, 1937, a non-aggression agreement among Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan promoting security in the Middle East. Resolution of border issues through peaceful negotiations, such as agreement with Syria and Iraq. Revision of the Strait regions through the Montreux Convention of 1936, which restored Turkey's full military control over the strait while maintaining freedom of passage for civilian vessels. Also, Turkey's geopolitical location has always been both an asset and a vulnerability, requiring sophisticated and adaptable foreign policy. The Ottoman Empire responded to these challenges with a long-standing balance of power strategy that influenced the diplomatic approach of the early republic. The Treaty of Lausanne provided the legal foundation for the modern Turkish state, while Ataturk's foreign policy principles ensured stability and peaceful relations with neighboring countries. Turkey's geopolitical has always been both an assessed a vulnerability requiring a sophisticated and adaptable foreign policy.